we able to go or not. So
this is a great example to create.
I did a job. Tried to make money. My boss was that. That I was trying to buy.
okay, so you succeed with that. Good. You made a money. Yeah. That's the big one. That's big. Okay, that's good. So we are all success then. We have, yeah.
That was one I think even something spiritual, and you think you're doing it to do something good. But if you're making a plan without understanding the overall achievement, I think it's complicated to understand. It's complicated to understand. So using this example,
You got promoted and that's what you try to do.
positive and resulted in something negative that happened. But at this moment, when you see it, you just see that. I think that's also very important to understand the idea that something as being successful and how you take something as being unsuccessful. Immediately, like let's say
That tells how we should live our daily life, balancing making plans and then worrying about the future. We're survival versus making it by their goals.
We don't see that there could be something there. That all we see is the plan that's there. You understand? The plan, what we see is a plan. They give you something that you have
It's not here.
Or she can read it.
I'm just using it as an example.
Okay.
A lot of
So we got a couple of seconds.
our idea where the plan stops is based on simple stuff. It definitely
So what does that say?
So you want to
We gave you
find
so give the example of the Paul in Macedonia. His first visit to Macedonia, let's say, and he says what this whole thing was disaster in returns. Thinking that the plan is failed, but that's not the other aspect. Thinking of it as spiritual sense. Just because
I would say this way, you know, but we shouldn't have it's been, what happened?
There's two
We
that I
went
think
somewhere
one
and we gave
for me that I always
gospel
go back to because I'm like 1,000% clear. So I'm on the other end, like I make this plans, so I'm not to make this plan. So I always wrote it Ephesians 5:15,
they started
and that says,
and everything went well.
be
And we
careful
just
how
left
you
you
walk, not as
back.
unwise men, but
A
as
couple of
wise,
months
making
later, you
most of
call,
your
then
time
hey,
because
how
the
you
days
doing?
are evil.
So no one
And
picked
when I
your
read this,
phone.
I
And
always
eventually you got
emphasize
from
to
somebody
myself,
else. Hey, there's no more church left. They
I
all
have to
going
remember
down,
with
right?
God,
They go
not
out.
long ahead
No
of
more.
God. That's how foolish
What happened that
right?
building?
And they go light years ahead of God,
No,
and they
they
make a
all,
mistake and they blame it on
nothing.
them. I try
So that is the fear.
like Paul really
That is
busted
the-
my body in this area
You
because
understand?
it is a
So
struggle
still,
for me to like
if
not
going on is still
map out
something
everything.
happening, it's
And the
not
older I
real.
get, the more
So it's not,
trust in God
the
is
mission is not done, it's not.
in being conscious of that. And then the
Real
other
is
thing,
like, you say you want to go somewhere last. So the last week was your duty to want to go, and was your grand plan, whatever it was. How many people you guys had plans, or you guys had plans to go somewhere, you know, but it didn't happen.
Philippians
And
4:6,
now there's no more
and it's just the beginning
program,
part. He
program,
is for nothing.
program.
So
So
you
your
don't
plan
have
is
to,
canceled.
I
You understand? So people properly cancels, I mean, properly share.
because the Bible says. be
So
anxious for
anything
nothing.
that is
So
going
God
on
has a
is
plan.
not real.
God has a way to make the plan happen.
Real means
And
real,
God has a way
then
to
you
bless
can't
me
do
through
nothing
it.
more.
And I always have to remind myself of that. because I
I
tend to
say
be anxious about
this
this
way.
and that.
The God's plan, whatever
Don't have
God's plan
their
in
way
your
of
hand.
happening, but in
His
my mind it is
His
so
time,
real.
right? But the plan that you make now, you want to do something. You want that to happen.
Yeah,
And you did more than that. Is true.
12:22.
Okay, that's right. I have so many things that I can see it.
He says,
So,
then he said to his disciples,
especially
therefore,
in key
say to you,
which says,
therefore I said to
I
you,
say,
do not worry about your life, what you will eat,
fill
nor about your body, what you will
worldly desire.
Life is more than
Worldly.
food,
Okay, wrap up
and the
your
body
thoughts.
is more than clothing. Consider the raven, for they neither sow nor reap, which have neither storehouses nor barns, and the Lord feed them. For how much value are
Yes.
you than the birds? Right? And then in 31, verse 31,
Exactly. Yeah.
31, he said, well, I'll go back from 29. He said, do not seek
Yes.
what you should eat nor what you should drink, nor have an anxious mind. For all these things the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knowing these things. 31. But seek the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Yeah.
Maybe one more
The
verse.
scripture, and, that was the very, very appropriate word. You know, and with that, our according to his will, we would say
Want to
that
read it for her?
if his will, we will be able to. But if we don't plan without willing, you know, there's a very clear chance to succeed. You understand that?
Okay, one more minute. Okay. From the discussions, we got through all three questions, which was good. This third question is very important because that balance is very difficult, right? The balance between praying for something and waiting on it or worrying about it, right? Letting go and letting God. So two examples that I wanted to highlight for us in our group discussion was a spiritual one and then a physical, because naturally minds will go to physical things of times that we planned to do something and it either was successful or it wasn't successful, right? But the same thing could happen spiritually, right? People have plans spiritually in this world or religiously all the time for every type of denomination, faith, or creed. And some of those things are successful and some are not. So I think if we could turn to Acts chapter 5, and someone read verses 35 through 39. Acts 5, 35 through 39. Acts 5, 35 and 39.
Then he addressed the Sanhedrin, men of Israel, consider carefully these men. Some time ago, Judas appeared claiming to be somebody, and about 400 men rallied to him. He was killed, all his followers were dispersed, and it all came to nothing. After him, Judas the Galilean appeared in the days of the census and led a band of people in revolt. He was killed, and all his followers were scattered. Therefore, in the present case, I advise you, leave this, let them go, for if their purpose or activity is of human origin, it will fail. But if it is from God, you will not be able to stop these men. You will only find yourself against God.
Very, very, very important. Too often people have ideas for church. Church function is not the world that discourages. It's not poor planning sometimes, right? It's our own selves saying that won't work. Same as the spies came back and said, we can't take that land because there's giants. We're like grasshoppers. And 2 people said, no, we could do that. 10 people said, no, we can't. So you didn't go. You just heard 10 and 2. So you say, I gotta believe 10 because just 2 people that maybe they seen something else. Maybe they didn't go all the way. Too much in the church universe. Like people always talk about in meetings, congregational meetings, men's meetings, argue back or what we can do and what we can't do. I couldn't imagine any Christian talking about spiritual things and the word can't come out their mouth. Even as men, when we meet, the men that say we can't do, already in my mind, I discount anything out of his mouth. I treat him like a 10 spot. Because if you can't believe that you can do anything through Christ that strengthens you, I cannot hear anything else that come out of your mouth. Even if you have good ideas, but you said we can't do it. Because I remember Jesus said, if you tell this mountain to get up from here and to go here, it would move. Right? But if you believe it won't move, then is it that the mountain can't move or that you don't allow the mountain to be moved in your life? That's really the problem, right? It's not that God can't do something in us or that we discount it and automatically say, we can't do that. And once you believe you can't do something, you can't do it. But if you believe you can do something, in the world, we see people do amazing things. In church, university, we have to do a much better job of that. Plant works will be more successful and activities will be more successful, right? The ladies had a great opportunity last week to not only encourage yourself, not only encourage visitors, but to encourage other churches, because there were some women that came there and they came there with the mindset that you don't have a building. So how are you going to plan the ladies day? Maybe a little ladies day, that Bridgeport ladies day, maybe 10 come, but you said you were going to ladies day. Well, that's not enough. Usually we're at this church or that church and they hold 300 people or 200 people or 100 people, and then we have potluck afterwards. And you guys have nothing. People said what you can't do. Maybe some of us in your meetings, right? Some of you in your meetings said, we can't do that. We can't do this. But when you all put your minds to something and it executed, you amazed even yourselves. There was things done that you may not have known how to do beforehand. Church is like that university, right? When you put yourself out of the way and let God work through you, wow, it could be amazing. But we as Christians all over the world, we have to stop saying what we can't do spiritually. Right? You can do anything that you put your minds to that's a part of God's business spiritually. Anything. But if you don't believe that, it's going to hinder the work and the growth. So that's one thing I definitely want to highlight is for us, having constructive criticism, nothing wrong with it. Christian in any meeting, I don't care if it's 2 people or a congregational meeting, telling us as a group what we cannot do, or anything else you're saying. Because Jesus told them, ask in my name and you'll receive that thing. So if you do, look, we had people, right, from Galilee. They had people that grabbed people. It's not that these people just popped up and they died on the side of the street. They had, right, this is one of my favorite parables, the wheat and the tares, right? The person said, let the wheat and the tares grow together. Try to disturb them, because when it's harvest time, I'll know the difference between wheat and tares. That's how things are spiritually. But if it's of God, it says it'll never fail. If it's of men, it'll fail away. So that's how we have to think more spiritually, is what can we do if we're focused on God's business? Anything. You could literally do anything if you are focused in one accord for God's eternal business. If you're in discord, you're not on one accord, people aren't being faithful to God, you're not loving one another, you could do nothing. That's the whole point. So just focus on that. And the other thing is our text, James text, touches on your everyday life, physical things, because too often we plan to do this or that, and some of the biggest things that we plan that we don't think about God starts even as young people and parents. Some of the parents are to blame for this. Parents and young people decide careers in college without ever asking God. Oh, this job, I prayed about it and God brought this job or this career, or I went to this school, or people feel like jobs in college and those things is outside of church, because as parents, you want your kids to have a better life than you. Even strongest Christians I've heard, when it's time to talk about their kids' college, barely I hear any God anywhere. Strongest Christians, elders, wives, deacons, wives, ministers, they're telling me about this career path and that career path and this thing they had for their kid all their life and all these plannings. And I say, where is God? Because I went to college and I thought I knew what I wanted to do. And I failed out of that. Because you know why? I never asked. I just said, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. And I started making my own plans. There's points in my life I can see I started making my own plans. I said, I'm going to do this or this. I'm going to move here or move there. I'm going to get this job or this. I never put in a prayer request. I never asked God. I never waited. I just did it. Doesn't mean I didn't go to church. Doesn't mean I didn't pray. But I felt like that was something else. This is not about spiritual things. This is about my personal life. If we don't give ourselves entirely over to God, we limit how great we can be. A lot of time is wasted in our life. It's because you are making poor life decisions, right? You're doing things based off of what you can only see in a 24-hour period. And the Bible is saying what? Worry about today, right? Today has enough problems. You got enough problems in May 20th before we start worrying about May 21st problem. Some people in this world are 21st. They're going to die worrying about May 21st, and they never live their May 20th. And that's where we as Christians, we have to get honed into that, because we even lose sight of that. When it comes to money, you know I'm telling the truth. When it comes to money, people go out, even the strongest Christians, you're gone from church concepts. Now you're thinking worldly concepts, because I need money. I got to go get this job. Or do you stop, pray, and wait? Think about Old Testament, right? A lot of people in the Old Testament spend a lot of time waiting, right? I heard people give examples. Abraham had to wait. Moses had to wait. David had to wait. Job had to wait. John the Baptist had to wait. Hey, can you go ask my cousin, is it time, or did I make a mistake? Because I've been waiting. I've been in jail. We don't have any news yet. The apostles had to wait, because time is not based off of what we see on our clock. But we have to, as Christians, get the understanding that God does everything in his own due. I say this all the time. There's people that have fallen away from church and will fall away off of prayer requests. They say, I asked for something last week. God never gave it to me, so I'm not coming. They say, I've been praying for a new job 3 months. I never got it, so why would I keep going to church? As if God owes them something. You asking God to bless you with something. So why do you feel like God owes you that job? See, when we feel that way, our perspective is wrong. That's why when we look at James, it said that James as a book was the first book in the New Testament written. And if you reference that and you look at all the things that James is talking about, it's basic Christian everyday principle. That's why the book of James, I tell people, anyone just baptized, read John and James. This is just everyday life. But this trying to do things ahead of God plagues us. Of course it plagues, because they're lost. But you know in your heart, you were off to the races today. Most people will be, I pray as I'm going. As I'm driving, I'll pray. But I can't sit here in bed praying because I would be late for work. I gotta go. I got somewhere to go. And we went on with our life. And then when something happened over our food, some people don't. But when something bad happened, then we say, oh, God, help me, this thing at work or this thing at school. And God may be saying, I've been looking for you since maybe 8:30. Been a lot of hours and never talked to me. And he's hearing you planning this thing and planning that thing and this thing. And I'm going to do that. This, and this. The danger of and trying to get ahead of God, to me, is that you know who else hears and sees that? Satan. Yes, your mind is so preoccupied with this plan, then let me help with that plan. And when that plan come to fruition, most of the time, the fail thing too, because as I said, when it failed, we run away from God. God don't love me. But when it succeeds, a lot of people left God after that. Because when you had leprosy, you were begging. Then you got cured. You said, I don't have time to walk back and say thanks. I got to go see people that thought I would never be back. I'm back in the community. And they forgot what Jesus did for them. People do that all the time. It has been people, even in our own congregation, on their deathbed, literally death, knocking at their door. The doctor saying, hey, pull the plug. And after a Wednesday of prayer, hey, it's a miracle. The person up, walking and talking. Do they come Sunday? No, we looking for them. Hey, anybody see this person? Remember we prayed Wednesday, they were dying. Oh, where are they? Living their life, because I got life now. I don't got time to be sitting in the church. I gotta go. That happens all. Forget what God has done for them. So to get a blessing sometimes is a curse to us spiritually, even worse. Get that thing. Now you feel I gotta go live with that blessing. I can't be sitting here doing this. One good example is job. People say, oh, I don't have money. I don't have money. I can't give because I don't have money. God bless with a job. Where's the giving? Did it increase? No, because now I got a job. I got to pay bills, but I didn't have a job. Okay. Next year, you paid your bills? Yeah, but I lived so many years without a job. Now I need a car. Okay. Next year, you got your car? Now I need a house. Okay, you got a house. Now I need clothes. God's saying, hey, I'm still waiting for my kickback. Remember I gave nothing? No. Next time. I got you next time. And next time. And next time. Because that blessing has now been a curse because we got what we wanted. So this year, a lot of people are going to be in judgment lines biting nails because of this passage about poor planning. Brother Deb?
Yes, we have seen since this 4 or 5 years we've been here in this hotel. So many people have come and they just gone.
Mm-hmm.
They have so many wishes,
Mm-hmm.
but their desire was something else, purpose, and their heart wasn't here. They asking, could you pray for us? And they asking in church, but there wasn't their heart in here. That's why Jesus said that, which you just said. I'd like to read this, you just, and just, because of this makes appropriate word. Chapter 4, verse 3. You ask and do not receive, because you ask in you ask in means that you may spend it on your pleasure. And I'm reading 4. Adultery and adulteries. Do you not know that friendship with the world is enemy with God? Whoever therefore wants to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of the God. Because those people, they leave the world. Their desire is worldly and asking the which is not proper to the kingdom of God. Yes, definitely, it was very proof